All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We're back here Monday, July 22nd, here to break down this 9-game slate on FanDuel and DraftKings. We got a Coors Field slate. We got a Royals Kauffman Stadium slate. We got the late night Dodgers. We're going to break it all down here. Overall, pretty fun slate on tap here tonight. Coming off a big weekend over here at the Nation. With the Open tournament in the PGA streets, I had myself a nice weekend in the MLB streets. Almost got all the way home last night, but let's run it back here tonight. How we doing, man? Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday. I stand here before you today eating a big old fat L from the show on Friday night. I gave Nades all sorts of hell that those sorry Oakland Athletics wouldn't score 5 runs. Hey, they didn't score 5 runs. They tripled that almost, Nades. Got a 13 burger in me. So, hey, I'll eat my L when it's time. But, man, hey, you had to have that Schumann guy, whatever his name is, the 9-batter. But, yeah, looking forward to it. We crushed it over here this weekend. My guy, DGen75, just absolutely nailed the showdown streets and PGA this week. You love to see that. And the MLB streets, I mean, our Discord was littered with winners. I saw your team, what was it, Friday night or Saturday night, one of those 2 nights. Was almost got home a late night dong from somebody. Hurt you? Speaking of hurt, Nades, I saw, we that Tovar home run on Friday night. Man, I was sitting pretty, winning the queue on FanDuel. He hit that bomb. Hey, I got second place. My third second place finish in the FanDuel queue this year. It was frustrating. Lost by less than 3 points. So, man, it was tough to see. But, hey, we're going to run it back again today.
Yeah, we're going to run it back here today. Yeah, it was actually yesterday, the day slate yesterday. The late runs in that Milwaukee Minnesota game went into the 11th or the 12th inning, right? Brewers scored 5 runs in the 11th there. I mean, it cut my profits by about a fifth from what I was. I was at the top of pretty much every tournament with my core last night there. But, hey, can't dwell on the past. It was a great Sunday overall with the Lugo and the Brandon Pfaadt pairing. That was nice to see there. They absolutely dusted the Cubs and the White Sox, those 2 pitchers. Little Jake Berger, my boy Jake Berger's back in my life, winning me money as a one-off. Love to see it here. But we got more guys to talk about here. We got a lot of those teams to talk about here again tonight. If you guys are new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you are not a member yet, NFL is shortly around the corner. Use that promo code NFL50. Get you $50 off any annual packages plus the early bird bonus. We do have the early bird special right now for the NFL season. Covers you for the entire NFL season. If you see right here, I'll throw it up on the screen. You can take a look across the industry on what other sites are offering for their NFL packages, their early bird special, whatever you want to call it. It's just, these are the facts. $425, $269.99, $500, $629, $70. You see, we are the cheapest, but one of them on the screen there. However, our package does come with even more. It includes college football for the entire season with DGen and his crew. Smarty in the Discord crushed it last year. We're going to have a stone for college football. We're going to have everything for college football this year as well. And if you were to sign up now for the NFL package, you get the rest of our site premium access until NFL starts for free, no additional cost. So you're looking at roughly another $120, $150 there in savings just for being a member for us or with us for the NFL season there. So numbers speak for themselves. You can see it up there on the screen. You can do it yourself. Check it out across the industry. But time is now. If you go to shipitnation.com, click on the banner at the top of the screen that has the NFL early bird package. It'll take you right there. Discount the rate right off. If not, make sure you do throw that promo code NFL50 in there to get that special pricing there. Hamwich, Let's jump right in. We're going to talk pitching, and the pitching slate. No pitchers are priced above 9K on DraftKings here tonight, and I think there's a lot of good pitchers here. We're going to go 8K and above. We're going to talk about a couple guys first. Number one, Hunter Green gets that matchup in Atlanta. It is pretty hot in Atlanta there, but new news, Ozzie Albies is going to be out, I think, at least 8 weeks there with what's a fractured hand or something. That the X-rays came back there. I didn't catch what was injured there. I just saw he's out now for the next couple months there. So Hunter Green going into Atlanta, 8,200 for him. He sets up to be pretty chalky here, one of the chalkiest options on the slate. Good matchup overall. Definitely hit on him. Touch on Ronaldo Lopez, who's been very, very good at home on the other end of that game against those Reds there, who are some high strikeout bats there. And then Bryce Miller gets a matchup in a pitcher's ballpark at home against these Angels, who only have 3 lefty bats likely in that lineup. Miller struggles a little bit against lefties. Shouldn't see too many of them here. Good pitcher's park there. So hit on those 3 in particular. And then any other interest up here, Cole Reagan's pitching at home. He's been elite at home. Gets a tough matchup here against these Diamondbacks who just don't strike out overall. But Cole Reagan's with a 33% strikeout rate on the season at home, just 9K, not going to get a ton of ownership either at the top, I think, due to the matchup. So overall, a lot of guys up here. Obviously got Tanner Houck in Coors Field too that you could talk about. There's a lot of guys up here I think you can play, but break it down, man. Where are you going?
Yeah, should be an interesting slate. Like you said, I mean, no one's above 9K, which is kind of weird to see on DK. I mean, and there's, good reason. Let's just start at the top, and I'll kind of work my way down to 8K. I mean, Cole Reagan's obviously had a great season this year. Matchup, just it's matchup based is why he's not as higher than this. This Diamondbacks team just doesn't strike out a whole ton against left-handed pitching. They've been pretty good against left-handed pitching, and so I think that's why Reagan's is lower. I mean, I think Reagan's is 10-8 on FanDuel, which is kind of ridiculous in my opinion, but very fair price on DraftKings. Ronaldo Lopez gets this Reds team. They do strike out a bunch. You get them away from the small park. Hey, how are they going to fare? I like Lopez a little bit better than Cole Reagan's tonight, just based off the matchup, based on his upside and things like that. Ranger Suarez, he struggled, recently. He was lights out, dynamite in the early part of his season. A lot of his strikeouts came in the first part of the season. That's why his numbers have been so good. And this Twins team over the last 30 days has been just absolutely dynamite. So I won't have any interest in Suarez just based on that matchup. In the Twins over the last 30 days, striking out 19% versus lefties. That's in 209 plate appearances. So yeah, so no Ranger Suarez for me. And then Tanner Houck, no thank you. Very similar, in my opinion, to Ranger Suarez. His strikeout stuff is coming down over the last 6 weeks. If you look at his strikeout stuff over the last 6 weeks, gone way down as opposed to what it was early part of the season. I know he's taking on Colorado, which is abysmal. And some guy, I don't even remember that guy's name. He struck out 12 Rockies yesterday. So they're abysmal. But 8,500, I guess that's a fair price. Interested to hear your take on that. My favorite of the bunch, Nate, is going to be Bryce Miller taking on this Angels team. We talked about this Angels team, and I think they got swept in Oakland of all places. Now you get Bryce Miller in a pitcher's ballpark on 10-plus days rest. Should see 85-plus pitches. I know games are different and things happen, but the last time he faced this Angels team at home, all he did was put up 33 DraftKings points. So give me some Bryce Miller. Really like him today. He's my favorite pitcher in this top end. And then you alluded to it. Hunter Green, going to be popular. No Ozzie Albies. A terrible or a cold Matt Olson. Obviously no Acuna. He's going to be popular, and rightfully so. He's got tons of strikeout upside. Braves been striking out in bunches against right-handed pitching, so he's going to be popular. Don't hate that. And then I'll stop at 8,000, which is Diaz. I mean, he's been good this season. Hey, but I wouldn't dare pick against your Kansas City Royals, Nate. They're hot. Coors Field 2.0. Yeah, but I won't be going to Diaz tonight.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown. We tend to agree there. I'm going to start with my favorite pitcher in this top tier. It's Bryce Miller. We're aligned there. Not afraid of this Angels team, especially, like I said, lefties are what get to Miller. Shouldn't see very many of them. He's great against righties. He's been great at home. good ballpark there, 8,400. Everything checks out there. Ownership shouldn't be too crazy. There's enough guys at this top tier: the Greens, the Reagans, the Millers, the Lopez's, the Hawks, the Arrigettis. All 5, 6 of those guys are all going to take ownership from each other. I think they all come in anywhere from 20 to 30, 35%, depending on the contest there. So ownership doesn't matter too much outside of the bats that we're going to talk about in 2 spots in particular. So we'll hit on that. Bryce Miller, not afraid of him, like him a lot. Hunter Green, I don't mind, but I will want to monitor ownership on Hunter Green, because if we do get a chalky Hunter Green against Atlanta team, which I get it, right? Atlanta hasn't been great, but they still have guys in that lineup that can bop the baseball, right? That can smash there. So maybe I think he's a great arm, but you still have Austin Riley, right? You still have Ozuna, you still have Matt Olson, you still have Duvall, Rosario, Murphy. All those guys hit right-handed pitching very well at home. The strikeouts can be there. I think he's a great play at 8,200, but everybody sees the same thing that I just mentioned, right? He's a great play. Price is there. He's got incredible strikeout stuff overall. I just want to watch his ownership. If he does come in as quote-unquote the highest chalkiest pitcher as on the slate, from what I'm seeing, he's a good 8 to 12 to 15% higher than anybody else on the slate right now. I would want to be a little bit lower, but overall I do think he's a great play. And then Cole Ragans, sounds like I have a little bit more interest in Cole Ragans than you do. I get it. It's a tough matchup against Arizona. They don't strike out a lot, but Cole Ragans has been elite at home. I mean, this guy has been absolutely incredible. He should have run support behind him. Like I said, 33% strikeout rate at home this season, a barrel rate under 5%. He's got 81 strikeouts at home, and expected ERA below 3.3. So I like him, but my third favorite pitcher up here is Ronaldo Lopez on the other side of that green. I noted it in the slate plan here. These Reds on the road, over a 26% strikeout rate. And Lopez has been a stud at home, over a 25% strikeout rate, limits hard contact. And like I said, maybe the Braves could tag Hunter Green. Hunter Green struggles with the long ball there. It's decent weather in Hotlanta. Should be good weather there. If they could get a run or two, I could see like a 3-1 type game here with the Braves win. Lopez picks up the win, gets a nice point score at 9K. So for me up here, my favorite guy, Bryce Miller. My second favorite guy, Ronaldo Lopez. And then I do have interest in Cole Ragans and Hunter Green. No interest in any Bailey Ober. No interest in Diaz. Tanner Houck, not going to mess with Coors Field on the slate when he's priced in a range of Lopez and the Greens and the Millers of the world that I like more, and ownership's not really too much of a concern there. So just those 4 pitchers at the top end for me. Let's jump down to the below 8K range. I'm going to throw out one guy in particular for you. Spencer Arrigetti, going to be probably 20 to 25-ish% owned. He is, quote-unquote, the chalk SP2 from what I'm seeing on this slate here. Gets the matchup in Oakland, good pitcher's ballpark, but Oakland obviously hitting the baseball well, coming off a great weekend. And I believe they're third over the last month in weighted runs created plus in all of baseball against right-handed pitching there. So interested to see your take on Arrigetti. Personally, I'm under on Arrigetti. I actually like some of these Oakland bats more against a chalky SP2 option who struggles with control issues as well, right? Arrigetti struggles with command sometimes, walks a lot of guys. That can lead into some issues quick because the Oakland, as they saw all weekend long, had a lot of power throughout that lineup there to come along with, obviously, their strikeouts there. And then one other guy I want to mention to you is Tobias Myers there. Gets the matchup in Wrigley. It's good pitching weather in Wrigley. I think it's low 70s, some slight wind blowing in. So it's not a crazy wind game for hitters there. So I don't mind Tobias Myers, who's a solid real-life pitcher. These Cubs strike out a lot. He's 7.2K. He's my favorite option below 8K. And then can I interest you in any $5,000 Austin Gomber at home against the Red Sox? The Red Sox are abysmal against left-handed pitching. They're going to be the mega chalk, especially the cheap righties. I don't hate in tournaments a $5,000 Austin Gomber. I mean, if he goes out there, overall, this pitching slate isn't crazy. Besides a couple guys at the top tier, he goes and gets you 12 to 15 DraftKings points at 5K. I think that's a little interesting. So in deep, large field tournaments, I don't hate an Austin Gomber against the chalk. But where are you looking below 8K? How much?
Yeah, man, I can't wait till our Discord's blowing up with Cy Gomber after he goes like 8 scoreless against those Red Sox tonight. That'd be pretty funny. But yeah, man, hey, listen, I'm going to die on that hill that the Oakland Athletics are not a good baseball team. They've struck out 26% against righties over the last 30 days. I get it. They've hit 30 bombs in that same time span. Good for them. But hey, I'm going to bet on the come, right? And I'm going to say that they're going to come back down to earth. They are who I think they are. I like Arrighetti tonight. He will be chalky. I don't mind that price at $7,800. Just when you look at these guys down here, you got not many to choose from. I think Myers is in play, certainly taking on this Cub. What's that weather in Chicago doing? I'm assuming it's not wind's not blowing out or anything, is it, Nades?
No, like 5 mile an hour winds blowing in, low 7 at like 71 degrees. So it's not crazy good hitting weather. It's actually a slight bump to pitchers there in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, Myers thrown back-to-back 100 pitches and obviously had an extended rest. So they fully stretched out. Cubs have been pretty bad most of the season, and especially this weekend. I don't think they put up many runs, but I have a little bit of interest in Michael Lorenzen. I mean, Michael Lorenzen is not a great pitcher by any stretch of the imagination, but hey, he gets to pick on this White Sox team that is pretty bad. I don't even know how many runs they scored this weekend. It couldn't have been more than like 5 runs in a 3 or 3 game series against Kansas City. They just can't hit the baseball right now. So Lorenzen would be, I mean, I like Aaron Getty the most down here, but it's going to be Lorenzen for me outside of Aaron Getty below 8K.
Oh, man, it's going to be another Ham and Nades duo here. I got the best of them again for the 10th time on Friday. We're running it back here on Monday. I'm going to get a little Hamwich sandwich here, and I'm going to eat that thing on Friday right in front of his face because he's touting Arrighetti and Lorenzen, 2 guys that I'm stacking against here tonight. Yeah, you guessed it. I'm playing the Chicago White Sox here tonight. I like both offenses in that Texas game there. Lorenzen, I think, is one of the worst pitchers, if not the worst pitcher on the entire slate here tonight. So you can have fun with him. I will have 0 Lorenzen. I'm actually going to play some White Sox stacks against Lorenzen here. Even probably in one of my single entry teams, one of my 3 max teams, you will see some White Sox in there. So I'm out on that. I'm out on Arrighetti. Like I said, Tobias Myers is my favorite guy down here. And if I had to pull another guy, maybe a Blake Snell against the Dodgers, just because anytime Snell is pretty low owned, he does have upside. It is a scary matchup to go up against those Dodgers. But realistically, I like the top tier. And then down here, I like Tobias Myers and maybe an Austin Gomber, like I said, in larger field tournaments. I'll throw it over to you, Hamwich. Go ahead and rank your top 5 pitchers before we go game by game.
Yeah, top 5 for me. I think we're going to be similar in a lot of the ways, but I'm going to say Bryce Miller is going to be my favorite of the bunch. I would put Lopez second. Ronaldo Lopez would be second. I'm going to say Arrighetti third, and then just. I know I kind of shit on Tanner Houck earlier, but I'm going to put Tanner Houck fourth. And then my wild card of the day is going to be Michael Lorenzen at 5. And, man, if anyone plays those White Sox tonight, that's like 5% of the teams that are going to be dead at the jump when you click on Tommy Pham, those teams are just automatically dead tonight, Nades.
No, I'm going to be clicking on Luis Robert and Eloy Jimenez and Paul DeJong there. Maybe 2 other guys to throw in a little 5-man to shove it right up where the sun don't shine for Hamwich there. When he's got Lorenzen and he sees that negative sign in front of his number, he's thinking he's got 12 DraftKings points from Lorenzen, but he forgot to miss. He missed that negative sign in front of that 12. So I'm calling negative DraftKings points here for tonight for Lorenzen against those White Sox. It's scary, I know, but nobody's going to play the White Sox. I'll gladly take a shot on the White Sox on overall a slate that outside of Houston and outside of Boston, it's pretty weak for offense and going to be pretty spread out. I like some other smaller, some of these lower owned teams like the Oaklands, the White Sox to get a little bit different here. I actually like the slate quite a bit because I think the cookie cutter approach is go in there, play Coors Field, go in there, play the Houston Bats, and play Hunter Green with a Bryce Miller or an Arrighetti. I think is kind of how this slate sets up. So I'm just going to be a little bit different there. My top pitchers, I'm going Bryce Miller number 1, Lopez, number 2 for me. I'm going to go Cole Reagans 3, Tobias Myers 4, and then my wild card, like I said, Austin Gomber. I think Austin Gomber outscores Lorenzen easily here tonight, is what I'm saying at $2,600 cheaper. So I'll take that one for Hamwich there. A little heads up matchup, Lorenzen versus Gomber. I'm giving you $2,600 in salary. Maybe you can use that to pay me after Lorenzen gets dusted here tonight. So go ahead.
Real quick, Tony asked who the projected Dodgers pitcher was. I think it's Rex Ryan's son, River Ryan. That's what I'm seeing. Is that what you're seeing?
River Ryan making his first start here against the Giants. I saw somebody asked earlier today in the Discord, and I answered them in the Discord there. If we had any interest in River Ryan, personally, I'd rather play the Giants bats against River Ryan. The reasoning for that is anytime a pitcher's making his first major league start, I typically like to stack against him. And now you add in the added factor of the Dodgers pitchers just really realistically always have a short leash. It didn't matter Kershaw. It didn't matter who it is, right? They always have a short leash out there in the Dodgers organization. So at $7K, I would much rather get $200 and go up to Tobias Myers, who I like a lot, or drop all the way down to Austin Gomber than mess with that. So I actually wouldn't mind some of these Giants. The top 6 Giants actually look pretty good to me against the guy making his first start. So we'll break down that once we get to that game to round out the show here. Well, that's pitching. Seems like we're kind of polar opposite outside of Lopez and Bryce Miller. So should be a fun little game here tonight in the Discord. Members get a nice little kick out of the little Nades and Hamwich banter here. It makes these shows a little bit more fun. But let's jump in and talk hitting. We're going to start with the game where I like both the pitchers. Hunter Green's going to be the chalk of the slate here. We're going into Atlanta. Hunter Green on the mound, Ronaldo Lopez, 2 great pitchers here. But like I said, it is solid weather there in Atlanta. Temperatures in the 80s. There is some risk of some storms there. I believe Roth has it tagged as yellow-green. He said, I'm not too impressed by the storm coverage here, at least model storm coverage, but I won't fully dismiss the chance of something popping up right over the stadium. So if that were the case, it would definitely hurt pitching a little bit. But from a hitting perspective, obviously you can always play an Ellie De La Cruz, but I have more interest in grabbing some of these Braves one-offs or mini stacks with a power against Hunter Green, who's prone to the long ball. I'm not going to 5-man stack either of these teams. If I had to pick a side, it'd definitely be Atlanta on the back of Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna, Olsen, kind of that middle of that lineup, Duvall, Olsen, Ozuna, Riley. 2 of those guys, they all have good numbers and can hit some bombs there. Sean Murphy, I think, is fine too at 3,300 at the catcher position. But any interest for bats here in Truist Park for you, Ham?
Man, I would love to play my boy Nacho. I love that guy, Nacho Alvarez. Hey, but you can't play him tonight. I wish you could. I just love the name. But, yeah, I'm with you. Like, you kind of taught me on to that, maybe a little Braves mini, right? Going up against Hunter Green. They still got some big boppers. You always have a good penchant of, fading the chalk and getting some good guys. So, yeah, the Rileys of the world. Kelenic went yard yesterday. Ozuna's obviously, MVP caliber season. So, I do like a Braves mini. And then, yeah, I'm in agreement with you that I'm not playing these Reds outside of the small park. They haven't hit a lot of bombs this season. They don't feel like they have anyway. They obviously will get some doubles and stolen bases, which, can rack up quickly as well. But just looking at their confirmed lineup, it's the same lineup that they always tried out there. But Lopez has been pretty good all season. I'm going to rock and roll with Lopez. And then I like some Braves minis with you as well.
Yeah, sounds like we're aligned there. Ellie De La Cruz, obviously, you can always play that guy, 5,900 shortstop, but I do like some other shortstops more than an Ellie here. Just worse pitchers, in my opinion, to attack on the slate than Lopez. And then, like I said, I like the leverage more against Hunter Green with some big they don't have Acuna in there. They don't have Albies in there. But when you have an all-star talented team, right? You still got some big bats in there, right? The Ozunas, the Olsens of the world that can still hit the long ball there, and that's all you need from a one-off or a mini stack there. Let's head to this next game. We're heading out to Minnesota here. Bailey Ober on the mound. We didn't talk about Bailey Ober too much here. Bailey Ober was lights out against bad teams. He's had very good, easy matchups to start the year. Scuffled a little bit the more these matchups got a little bit tougher. He's got a really tough matchup here tonight as well. These Phillies coming to town. I don't think the Phillies pick up a lot of ownership at all. I actually have interest in these Phillies. And on the flip side, I don't think these Twins are the craziest play in the world either. You alluded to it a little bit when you broke down Ranger Suarez here. Twins have been red hot, but I like the Phillies quite a bit here. Guaranteed ninth inning at bats. Just want to pull up the weather real quick, looking at the weather there in Minnesota. There is some risk, right? Roth has this one tagged as the worst game on the slate right now for weather for the main slate. He's got it tagged as yellow. So I think bats are fine. I don't love pitching a ton with it being tagged as yellow. The only game realistically that has weather concerns from what I'm seeing. But I like these Phillies as a 5-man and a mini stack. I mean, they got 7 batters in this lineup with ISOs north of 180 against right-handed pitching on the road this season. So low strikeouts, high-powered offense. They got Schwarber back. They got Harper back. They are expensive to stack up. I don't think ownership follows. Bailey Ober, like I said, has scuffled against better matchups. Does great against weaker matchups. I don't mind some Phillies here tonight.
Yeah, you're not going to get an argument with me on that. I think the Phillies are in play. Bailey Ober is certainly gettable, so I don't think that's the worst call. Let me just looking at their prices. I don't know how much you could stack them. And then I'm with you. I like on the flip side, and you said it, but I mean, Ranger Suarez has not been the Ranger Suarez that he was at the beginning of the season. And I talked in the opening as well about how the Twins have been doing against left-handed pitching over the last 30 days with almost a 300 batting average, 33 runs scored, 7 bombs. I really like Byron Buxton tonight. He obviously hit 2 bombs yesterday, and he's not going to be highly owned tonight, in my opinion. I don't think a lot of these Twins will. He's batting cleanup tonight, so I'm going right back to Byron Buxton. I like him. Manuel Margot is batting leadoff, which he normally does against a lefty. So any of those guys I like up there in the top, especially the ones that are the righties of the bunch. So yeah, give me these Twins. One of my favorite stacks of the night. You get Ryan Jeffers batting second, which he's normally 7, 8, or 9, somewhere in that range. So yeah, give me these Twins tonight to beat up on Ranger Suarez.
Like I said, I mean, Jeffers and Margot are both nice. Margot puts the ball in play. He's got some power. He's got a nice price point at 3,600. If he's batting leadoff, that's good. Buxton is hitting the ball well. So yeah, I don't mind this game for bats. Definitely prefer the Philly side in terms of full stacks. More mini stacks or one-offs and 2 or 3-man stacks for me on the Twin side. But a decent game for bats that I like quite a bit. Let's head to the next game, another game where I like quite a bit from the bats perspective. We're going out to Texas. Lorenzen, dog crap on the hill. Fetty Wap on the hill for the White Sox. It's a scary night. Nades is playing some Chicago White Sox. Didn't think the day would come, but here we are, July 22nd, 2024. Hamwich is on the show drinking a Celsius, touting Lorenzen. I'm on the show touting freaking White Sox hitters. What a time to be alive here tonight. But I like these White Sox, Robert, Vaughn, Eloy Jimenez. Lorenzen struggles with fly balls and power to righties. Can't get any lefties out, walks a ton of lefties. Overall, I like these White Sox. 5-man stack, mini stack, I like them all. Guaranteed 9th inning at bats. And then on the Ranger side, Corey Seager. Outside of Corey Seager, I don't really like the stack. I mean, Adolis Garcia, I think, is fine. Texas, I think, picks up a decent amount of ownership. They're popping in optimizers early. So I'm going to be underweight on the Rangers, overweight on the White Sox side. Scary take here. But like I said, I think Lorenzen's one of the worst, if not the worst pitcher on the slate here tonight. I'm going to take a chance, and we'll see how it goes.
That's a bold statement when you got Hulk Hogan Harris on the hill, Austin Gomber on the hill. Who else on the hill? River Ryan, and you're calling Michael Lorenzen the worst of the bunch. Come on, Lorenzen. Give me a dub tonight, Lorenzen. I need you. Hey, I'm picking on this White Sox team. I don't know how many runs they scored. I'll bet you it wasn't more than 5 runs the whole series against Kansas City, against some guy named Michael Waka Flocka Flame, Seth Lugo, whoever that is, and whatever other scrub they threw out there. Hey, they can't muster up any offense. And then my boy Fetty Wap, Nades, what else does he have to do? Like, all Fetty Wap has done over the last 2 months is get double-digit DraftKings points literally every single game. This Rangers team, they don't strike out a whole ton, but Mr. Fetty Wap, Mr. Consistency, you're going to see like a 3-1, 3-2 type game tonight. Lorenzen's going to mow him down. Fetty Wap's going to mow him down. Let's go. No offenses, not even one-offs. Corey Seager, I guess, yeah, he's popping in all the optimizers. But, yeah, I'm in with Fetty. I'm in with Michael Lorenzen, and it's a 3-2 type game.
Yeah, it's the White Sox score 6 runs here tonight. I see it, Josh, in the chat talking about 12 runs in the last 7 games. Well, guess what? Good thing I didn't play any White Sox in the last 7 games, Josh. But, hey, best thing about baseball, you tighten up your bootstraps, right? You put your freaking pants on the same way. And, hey, it's daily sports for a reason. You don't worry about the past. You don't worry about the future. You worry about the slate on hand tonight. That's where I'm going. I'm putting my money there. You can follow me or not. Either way, I'm going to play some White Sox here tonight. And then just Corey Seager for me on the Rangers side, personally.
Don't get off Mr. Villanova's back, man. Josh, he's a Villanova fan. He's a Knicks fan. He's always in here. He's got my back tonight. Come on, Josh. Tell Nate how it is.
Tell Nate how it is. Josh, I don't know if I see you in here quite a bit, so I'm pretty sure you know the track record between Hamwich's and I's little friendly banter here on the show. It's not too good to be in the same camp as Ham. Maybe that turns around. We'll see. But you're definitely the underdog going into Vegas odds right now, being on Hamwich's side there. But in all good fun. Let's jump to the next game here. Chicago, Assad on the mound. Tobias Myers, decent, solid pitching weather overall in Chicago here. I have interest in these Brewers, like I wrote in the slate plan. I don't think they get a ton of ownership here. They're young. They got a lot of speed and power throughout the lineup. They're aggressive on the base pass, guaranteed 9th inning at bats. In Wrigley, facing the division rival there, Assad is definitely more gettable. His first start back, he threw, 44 pitches, I think, coming back from that injury. Didn't look great at all. So you could see a short leash here for Assad again. I like Contreras. I like Yelich. I like Adames. I like Hoskins. And then my boy, Jurickson Cheerio. What a stud this kid is, right? 3,600. Projected bat 9th right now. You can wrap it around to the top to Terang. If Terang gets on, 100% chance he's stealing second base. I like these Brewers quite a bit here tonight. No Cubs interest for me against Myers. They strike out too much. Sure, you can play an Ian Happ, but I like all our offenses more. So give me some Brewers stacks, mini stacks against Assad and the Chicago Cubs bullpen. And then, like I said, no Cubs interest for me.
Yeah, we agree on this one. I mean, Assad, he cost me a bunch of money early on in the season. I knew he was bad, and I kept on stacking against him, and all he would do is go up there and get 20 DraftKings points, but now he's coming back to earth. Got beat up, like you said, his last time out against the Cardinals. I think it's more of the same with Churio and this Brewers offense. We got him projected for a ton of fantasy points over here. So, yeah, I think that lineup just came out, but I haven't seen it uploaded yet, but definitely like these Brewers. And then I'm with you. I mean, Tobias Myers, I mean, looking at what he's done versus what the Cubs have done, I'm with you. Give me some low on Myers and give me these Brewers tonight. They should they're one of my top 3 stacks.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're aligned there. Holy cow. I had to check if I was dreaming real quick. Hamwich and I are on the same page for one chance there on the Brewers. But yeah, I like Brewers quite a bit. Couple games left. If you guys haven't hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. And for anyone who didn't catch it, NFL 50, we're running our early bird special right now for NFL. $2.99. I'll throw it up on the screen here. You see it, $2.99 NFL package. Comes with the optimizer. And there is a bonus. College football for the entire season of college football is included in that package. No additional add-on fee. And then you get free access to the rest of our site until NFL starts for the next month and a half or so at no additional cost there. You see the other rates across the industry. These are facts. These are not made up numbers to make us look better or look and make anyone else look worse. It's just the nature of the beast. That's what these rates are across the industry. So this allows you to play more contests, have a chance to win more money, paying less for content, but still having a chance and an equal opportunity to be just as competitive in tournaments for a cheaper rate there. So NFL 50 is the code, gets you $299 for the entire package. If you go to ShipItNation.com, click the banner at the top of the screen. It'll already discount you down to the $299. You'll get full access to our Discord for the next month and a half until NFL starts. And then obviously you will have access to the NFL channels, all the projections, everything there for the lowest rate in the industry there. Hamwich, next game on tap here. One of my favorite stacks of the board. Surprise, surprise, the Kansas City Royals. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Royals won me money last night. They won me money all weekend here. Yober Diaz was great. He's a huge strikeout arm, but he has struggled against lefties. Royals should throw a decent amount of lefties in. I saw their lineup just came out, but Frazier should be in there. Vinny P should be in there. Massey should be in there. Isbell's another cheap lefty, and then you got big boppers like Salvi Perez, Bobby Witt. I love these Royals. Royals, probably my favorite stack on the board. I like them better than Boston. I like them better than Houston at much lower ownership than both of those squads. So give me some of these Royals. No D-backs against Cole Ragans. I think if I were to pick one bad, it'd be a Ketel Marte just because he smashes lefties. He can steal bases as well. But Cole Ragans, I think, one of the best pitchers on this slate. Don't really want to stack against him.
What's the old saying, Nate? It's another day that ends in Y, baby. And you're going with those Royals, tried and true. You'll be flying that Royals banner tonight. You're an honorary Kansas City and Nades as much as you up here hyping up these Royals. Hey, and for good reason tonight. I like them as well. Bobby Witt Jr., goodness gracious, guy's a stud. They got some Vinny P, Sal Powell. I mean, they got some studs around him. I don't mind these Royals. And then I'm with you on Ketel Marte. I'm also liking Christian Walker. I like both of those guys tonight as a little mini. I think a little 1-3 action there. Or is Walker batting fourth tonight? Let me just double check if it's out yet. But in any event, Marte and or Christian Walker are in play for me tonight on the Diamondbacks side.
No, excellent breakdown there. Like I said, Yober Diaz looks like a decent real-life pitcher with some strikeout stuff, but overall, he's got just a 14% strikeout rate to righties from what we see and 19% to lefties. So, again, solid hitting weather in Kansas City too. I like these Royals quite a bit tonight. And like I said, I think they're probably the fourth or fifth highest owned stack. I think they get lost in the shuffle, maybe even lower than that. I think a couple teams like Texas, like Philly, Milwaukee, the Rockies even, and then obviously Houston and Boston come in higher owned. So going to get a low-owned squad. They're hitting the baseball well. Minus 155 favorite, implied to score almost 5 runs. I'll take my chances here tonight on some Kansas City bats. Let's head to the next game. We got 4 games to talk about. This is an important one. It's the chalk of the slate. Coors Field here. The Boston Red Sox in town, faced in Austin Gomber, who I get it. He's not a good pitcher, but the Red Sox also one of the worst teams in baseball against left-handed pitching. That obviously flips when they face a righty, but Austin Gomber does pitch left-handed. He's all right, I think, at home. I think he holds these Red Sox in check here tonight. Obviously, you got Tyler O'Neill to worry about, right? Lefty masher there, but the rest of this team, expected ISO of 151 and a strikeout rate over 25% or almost 26% on the road this season against left-handed pitching. I get it. Gomber's not a crazy strikeout pitcher by any means, 15% on the year at home. I think he does enough. Like I said, I think he does enough. I think he can outscore Lorenzen here tonight. Is like I said earlier when we talked pitching, I'm going to be fading these Red Sox. It's scary to do, but I think they come in as mega chalk, especially these cheaper righties, the Connor Wongs of the world, the Rafaelas of the world. I think overall this team comes in higher owned. I'm going to die on the hill. If the Red Sox beat me, they beat me. I'll come back tomorrow. Maybe I'll play them tomorrow against the righty, but Rocky side for me, I think I would have more interest in the Rockies, but overall, I'm off Coors Field here tonight, so that means it'll be about a 10 to 12 baseball game there. We'll see 20-plus runs on both sides because I'm not playing it, but I'm fading Coors Field here tonight. What are you doing with Coors?
Oh, man, I'm so torn on this because I love the Red Sox. I love stacking them. But you said it. I mean, they just don't hit left-handed pitching for whatever reason. I mean, you type in any optimizer, you're going to get you some Tyler O'Neill, that's for sure. But then you got Ref Snyder, who's going to get pitch hit for at some point in the game. You got all these guys that no one's ever heard of: Romy Gonzalez, Connor Wong, Jamie Westbrook. That's Russell's cousin, Rafaela. I mean, they're going to get pitch hit for at some point. So you got to pick and choose your battles. I actually like the lefties better than the righties in this, outside of, obviously Tyler O'Neill. So give me some little Duran, O'Neill, and Devers, little mini I'm okay with. And then I'd initially said I was out on Tanner Houck, but just looking at it and looking at what we haven't projected at over here at the Nation, I'm in on Tanner Houck. It's completely out on this Rockies team. How do you strike out 12 times against some guy that I've never even heard of? I can't even remember his name. They struck out 12 times yesterday, Nades. I just can't do it. And I hate Ezekiel Tovar. That jackleg cost me a Q trip. So, yeah, I'm out on these Rockies.
Yeah, I'm out on this game in general. I will say Duran and Devers are probably my two favorite bats just because lefty. I think they come in lower owned. Both of them can hit lefties decent amount. They have tons of power there. So don't hate that. Obviously, Tyler O'Neill. But one-offs or mini stacks only for me from the Red Sox side. And then not a lot of interest at all on the Rocky side either. Let's head to the next game here. If Boston doesn't come in as the chalkiest team on the slate, it's definitely going to be this next team here, the Houston Astros in Oakland facing the Athletics. Hogan Harris on the hill. Not a great pitcher, one of the worst. He can test Lorenzen and Gomber if you want to put Gomber in that category as well for the worst pitchers on the hill. Astros, again, 132 expected ISO on the road this season against left-handed pitching, but Harris struggles big time against righties. He should have 8 righties or 7 righties in this lineup that are all overall low strikeout bats, the Altuves, the Bregmans of the world. And he's got one of the best lefty hitters in baseball in Yordan Alvarez, who can hit left-handed pitching as well. Astros, I definitely like the Astros a ton more than the Red Sox. I like the Astros overall. Not worried about their ownership a ton. Just don't pair them with some of those cheap Red Sox. And the Arrighettis of the world, I think, is an easy way to get different. Throwing some of those guys at the back half of the lineup, the Chas McCormicks, the Dubones, the John Singletons of the world, I think is an easy way to differentiate yourself there. And then I like the Athletics a ton here as well against Arrighetti. Like I said, Arrighetti struggles with commands, and these Athletics hit for power. J.J. Bleday, Rooker guys, I think, cause him troubles. Max Schuneman there, your guy, your boy, how much over the weekend you needed him. He's 2,500 at shortstop. I like these Athletics here. So, like I said, I'm fading Arrighetti. I will have some Oakland bats in my lineups tonight. Like I said, over the last month, they're third in all of baseball in weighted runs created plus. Top 10 in ISO, top 10 in WOBA in all of baseball. So give me some Athletics against a chalky Arrighetti who struggles with some command.
Yeah, another game I'm torn on. Obviously hate the park, but Hogan Harris isn't any good. This Astros team, I'll just poke a hole in them. I'm not saying I'm not playing them, but they just don't hit any bombs against left-handed pitching from what I'm looking at. They can. Obviously, they got Yordong and Bregman and Altuve, but just looking at the last 30 days, they've hit 5 bombs in 177 plate appearances against lefties. And with them being that highly owned and with them being in that park, that's an easy fade for me in GPP, tournaments. If you want a single entry, that's fine. But anything above 3 entry, I wouldn't be playing those Astros. And then it's all Arrighetti for me all the time. This Athletics team, the Houston Athletics, as they've been called before, they're going to strike out a bunch, especially tonight against Nolan Ryan Jr., a.k.a. Spencer Arrighetti.
All right, another friendly little banter here. Nades versus Ham. I'm on Athletics. He's on Arrighetti. We'll see who gets the better hand here tonight. But like I said, the A's are top 5 in baseball in all 3 categories for hitting: WOBA, ISO, and weighted runs created plus. I'll take my chances here. Give me some Athletics. I like the Astros. Great game for bats, in my opinion, there, despite the bad ballpark overall. One game I jumped over before I got to that, but we're going to talk about Bryce Miller, Tyler Anderson, the Angels, the Seattle Mariners. I don't mind some of these mini stacks on the Mariners side. The Cal Raleighs, Mitch Garver's. The only issue is on DK, you can only play one of them. I prefer Mitch Garver just because he's cheaper, 3,700. Smashes left-handed pitching there. Julio Rodriguez, Victor Robles. I don't hate some of these Mariners as mini stacks. And then no Angels bats for me against Bryce Miller. Bryce Miller, my favorite pitcher on the slate here tonight.
Yeah, I saw J-Rod left the game early last night. Did he go on the IL? Let's look. Yeah, he's not in the projected lineup, which would obviously weaken that team. Yeah, Garver has been a notable lefty masher his whole career, but Nades, he's been pretty putrid this season. He's batting about your weight, about $170. 12 bombs, which is good, but strikes out in bunches. I like Robles at batting second. He got, I think, 2 or 3 stolen bases the other night. If he's batting second, obviously you like the matchup there. Give me some Robles, dirt cheap price. And then, yeah, I'm with you. I'll have as much Bryce Miller as I can fit into my teams tonight. I like him against this Angels lineup.
Yeah, no, seems like we're aligned there. Jake, Anderson will probably be sub 5% here. I don't really think many people are getting to him because everybody is going right to $100 cheaper and clicking on Spencer Arrighetti. Arrighetti, I think, comes in right around 30+% owned here tonight from what I'm seeing. So that's a nice little pivot there. I prefer Tobias Myers down at the cheap range than either of them. I already gave my talk on Arrighetti here. But yeah, if you like Tyler Anderson, don't mind it in tournaments there against high strikeout offense in the Mariners, especially those guys at the back half, Locklear, Haniger, Dylan Moore. They're all 30+. 2 of them are over 40% strikeout rate against left-handed pitching at home. So yeah, some of those one-offs on the Mariners, mini stacks, and then yeah, no Angels, like I said, for me. Let's jump to the last game on the slate here, heading all the way out to LA. River Ryan making his first start. Blake Snell on the hill. Like I said, I prefer the Giants bats more in this game. If I were to pick one, obviously you can play Ohtani, you can play Will Smith, Freeman, Teo Hernandez of the world. But man, after those 4 drops off quickly with the Pages, the Rojas, the Vargas, the Chris Taylors, the Kiki Hernandez. Blake Snell is a solid enough real life pitcher. Obviously, whenever time he picks up ownership, I usually fade it. But anytime he's low owned, he's usually a decent play. I think he's low owned here tonight in tournaments at 7,500. I don't hate him as a tournament option. Like I said, he can get past those top 4 hitters. I think he can make way with this lineup. But on the Giants side, Giants have some right-handed pitching hitters here that do pretty well. Jorge Soler, Lamonte Wade, Healy Ramos been one of the best hitters in baseball over the last month and a half. Patrick Bailey, Conforto, Chapman. I like those top 6 hitters quite a bit from the Giants side. I think you could full 5-man stack this team. I think they're going to be low owned, and just hope River Ryan just doesn't have it. Nerves get to him. The only issue is you got the Dodgers pen, which is pretty solid behind him. So prefer it more as a mini stack, but I do think the Giants are pretty interesting here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Cy Snell his last time out, 30 plus DraftKings points on 80 pitches. I mean, this guy is obviously has Cy Young type talent, and they paid him a lot of money. So certainly don't hate Snell at 7,500. I know we're talking bats, and the thing with these bats and it's these Dodgers are such high priced tonight. It's tough to full stack them. I think it's either minis or one-offs, and they don't strike out a whole ton at home against lefties, but Blake Snell does have the platoon advantage, in my opinion, against Ohtani and Freeman, lefty, which, I mean, it's Ohtani and Freeman, so they could do it, but I'm going to side with Snell, and I think this is a good old-fashioned NL West showdown, close game, and you talked about the Giants, with that pin that the Dodgers are going to bring in if once they get rid of Ryan. First game out of Coors, I think, is another downgrade to the Giants, which they had a terrible series in Coors anyway. So I'm out on these Giants. I think this is another low-scoring game, and then might have a few shares of Blake Snell, just depending on how many teams end up playing tonight.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown. I will say for the record, not one of my favorite games for bats. If I had to pick a side, I wouldn't mind some of these mini stacks on the Giants side. Obviously, you can always play Ohtani, like I said, but not a game I have a ton of interest in from bats. Bats early for the most part for me. Obviously, love Kansas City. I'm going to be underweight on Coors Field, underweight on the Houston Bats, overweight on the A's, overweight on the White Sox, overweight on Philly. Is kind of what's looking like, and the Brewers for me is kind of what it's looking like for me. How much the people are talking about your home run calls. If we remember correctly on Friday, Mr. JJ Bleday hit one deep along with the rest of the entire Oakland Athletics team there. So that was nice to see. I got back on the track with a home run call there against Hamwich's freaking gas canning. Like I said, he didn't make it to the fifth inning. He got ejected out and thrown out of there by the A's bats in the fourth inning, like I alluded to. But are you going to keep the train rolling here? Who's your home run call here tonight? The people want to know who to place their bets on.
Hey, real quick, my guy Landa's in the chat. You and Landa can go have a circle jerk on your A's. Landa, I meant to get you back on X. You pound the drum more than Nades does on those A's. I'm off those A's. My guy Landa and Nades have been swimming in cash with all that A's talk they've been talking about. But Landa, I said Arrighetti. You're obviously going A's. But, yeah, my home run call, Nick Castellanos yesterday, if you listen to the quick hit, you were on fire on Friday, Nades. But tonight, I'm going back to the guy, Byron Buxton against Ranger Suarez. Give me some Buxton to go deep tonight in Minnesota.
All right. Well, I'm going two guys on two stacks that you hated me for. Number one, I'm going to the White Sox. He's hitting sixth. Play him at third base. Play him at shortstop. Paul DeJong, 3K, nice value bet. He's taken Hamwich's Cy Young of the slate, Lorenzen deep, along with the rest of the White Sox team. I love him. Love the White Sox there. And then my second guy, going back to Oakland against the chalk, Arrighetti. I'm going right back to the well. Shea Langeliers, catcher, 4,100. Oakland is definitely going to send Arrighetti to the bench. The bullpen's going to come in there. I like Oakland to keep it rolling. I like both of those guys to hit a home run here tonight. Parlay those three together, you probably got really nice odds on any sports book out there. But as always, appreciate everybody watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on the way out. If you're watching on playback, do the same. One last time, NFL 50 is the code for $50 off any annual packages there. You get our early bird special, $2.99 a year, covers the entire NFL season. Throw it up there one last time. If you sign up now, you get locked in for NFL season. You get the rest of our site, the rest of our content for MLB, MMA, PGA for free, no additional cost. And once football rolls around, college football is also included in that package at no additional cost. $425, $269, $500, $629 across the industry is the pricing that you can see out there for NFL packages. You decide what you want. Play more money in contests, pay less for DFS content is our motto, our slogan over here. Good luck tonight in those contests. Hope to see those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top. For Hamwich, I'm Nadesify. Let's ship it.